I experienced deja vu and had absolutely no idea what it was, even though I had heard the word before. I decided to get to the bottom of it and went to Wikipedia, the most popular publicly accessible online encyclopedia that seems to contain all knowledge in the world, typed in deja vu, and here's how it's described. Deja vu is a phenomenon of feeling like one has lived through the present situation in the past. It is an illusion of memory whereby, despite a strong sense of recollection, the time, place, and context of the previous experience are uncertain or impossible. These words seem to explain everything to me, but then I suddenly discovered that anyone can edit the information on Wikipedia however they like, which means anyone can write absolutely anything there. And that is when I realized that this is just the tip of the iceberg, and on top of that, one that has been edited by who knows who and when. So I would like to understand once and for all what deja vu actually is, to start from the simple explanations and work my way through to the more complex ones, such as parallel realities, time travel, other timelines, and to figure out what exactly happened to me and how it all works. After experiencing deja vu, I personally thought it was just some kind of glitch in my memory, but my genuine curiosity sent me to ChatGPT, where I typed in the following question: in which part of the brain does deja vu appear? And it turned out that the short answer is that no single deja vu center. Main suspects? What? This is a 3D model of our brain, and right here we can see the hippocampus itself. A really big thanks to this channel for this model. The hippocampus helps form memories, link events to context, determine whether the event has actually occurred before. If the deja vu were a book, the hippocampus would be the librarian that checks, is this a new book or is it already in the archive? I hope I read this biological terms well. Oh no! Parahippocampal gyrus. Oh, okay. This is a parahippocampal gyrus, which is located right next to the hippocampus, as you can see. Many researchers consider it one of the main candidates. It participates in the feeling of familiarity. It answers the question, does this sound familiar to me? During deja vu, the system can mistakenly trigger for a completely new situation. Then the feeling appears, I've already been here. Temporal lobe, this is the most famous area related to deja vu. Why? Because some people with temporal lobe epilepsy have every strong deja vu before seizure. Oh no, this might be connected to disease. I don't think so, though, because deja vu would be a precursor to more severe symptoms, but that's not the case, so we'll cross that of the list, yeah. Sometimes it's so realistic that the person is sure. I've definitely experienced this before. Yes, I think 100% I felt the same. During medical stimulation of individual areas of the temporal lobe, doctors could sometimes artificially induce sensations similar to deja vu. Oh, this is some kind of crazy fact, I think. Yeah, this is probably an error of our brain or some of its individual parts. But why does this feeling feel exactly the way it does, as if it had already happened somewhere in the future, and here I am as if I jumped precisely into that moment and live it all over again? Unfortunately, brain researchers do not offer any such explanation to me, and that brings me to the core question: what exactly are time and the way we perceive it? Time. Google says that this is a classic perception where time looks like a straight line, a ray, directed from the infinite past through the point of now into the infinite future. In simple words, was that is the past. I bought an ice cream, for example. Now, that is the present. I'm eating the ice cream, and future is I ate the ice cream sometime later down the line. But there are also other concepts of time, such as the block universe concept, eternalism. I know it sounds unclear, but I will explain everything right now. Imagine that your childhood, school, university, now, marriage, your children, old age, grandchildren, and everything else all exist simultaneously. It is the same as watching a movie at a certain moment. That doesn't mean the other parts of the movie do not exist. The film is completely in its entirety. We're simply watching it at this particular moment right now. Moreover, after Einstein's discovery and his theory of relativity, it turned out that a single universal time doesn't exist. Albert Einstein was a German-born theoretical physicist, best known for developing the known theory of relativity. Einstein also made important contributions to quantum theory. For example, before Einstein, people thought that the time, well, like a global stopwatch, runs the same for everyone. Say, 12 hours have passed for everyone in the world, in the universe, okay? But after his discovery, it turned out that for one observer, 12 hours passed, while for another, only 11 hours and 59 minutes passed. And this led to the conclusion that a single universal now moment doesn't exist. So what does this mean? If time doesn't flow the way it seems to us, then where exactly is the brain remembering when it experiences déjà vu? And what is it that we ever perceive as reality? What if reality itself isn't real and we are living inside a computer simulation created by an incredibly powerful quantum computer? Quantum computing is a revolutionary field that leverages the principles of quantum mechanics to perform computations far beyond the capabilities of classical computers. So, and I decided to ask ChatGPT, could a quantum computer branch reality? And the answer really shocked me, because according to the many world's interpretations, yes. Yes, the idea isn't that a quantum computer creates new realities, rather, reality is already continuously branching due to quantum events, and a quantum computer exploits those branches. What? Because the universe evolves into multiple branches corresponding to different outcomes. During a quantum computation, these branches evolve separately and later interfere with one another. Gosh. Where it literally states that reality may branch at every choice we make. Say there are two doors, we decided to open this one or that one or not open either at all. And there exist realities where we made each of those decisions at the moment of choice. The universe branches and continues along a different world line. And given what we already know about time, that very block universe concept where everything that can exist does exist from beginning to end, if we combine that with quantum branching realities at every choice, then it turns out that déjà vu could be a trace left behind from other choices made across various parallel realities? But here's the problem. None of that information was anywhere near the tip or even the middle of the iceberg, so I had to dive even deeper, practically all the way to the very bottom, and that is where I stumbled upon Philip K. Dick. Philip K. Dick was an American science fiction writer who is considered by many to be one of the most unusual and influential authors of the 20th century. He became famous not so much for describing future technologies as for exploring the nature of reality, time, memory, and consciousness. I found his speech on YouTube from 1977, so for context, this was not a talk about his books, but a speech that genuinely surprised all of his readers, connected to the author's personal assumptions and experiences. I copied the link and pasted onto YouTube transcribed decoder. By the way, I watched it until to the end, and then put these note details into ChatGPT. And look at the concept number 6, the main conclusion of his speech on déjà vu. It stated, if we discard all mysticism, complex terms, and verbosity of Philip K. Dick, then his main conclusion about déjà vu can be reduced to one phrase. Déjà vu is a trace of memory from a previous version of reality. Not the past, not of the future, not a past life. Namely, another version of the present that once existed before history was changed. This follows from his reasoning about alternate worlds, reprogramming reality, changing history variables, residual memories after such changes. Whew. It seems I have definitely started to understand déjà vu much better, whether it is time travel, alternative realities, or simply a glitch in the brain. All of these theories have their place, and which one to choose, that is up to you. Subscribe so you don't miss any new content. See you later. Bye. Oh my god. Yes, this video about déjà vu is over.